Okay.
My name is Matthew Lesanjo, Secretary General, Nakuru Digital Hailing Association. Last week, for 3 days, we actually had a meeting with stakeholders in the digital taxi industry. This meeting was held at the State Department of Transport, and in attendance was NTSA, the leadership of the digital taxi fraternity countrywide, and State Department of Transport. The in charge Mr. Kingori was in that particular meeting. Kwa hii mkutano kuna mambo ambayo tulijadiliana, the deliberations that we made, and it's very unfortunate that these international app companies have decided to go against whatever we agreed on this particular meeting. Right now wanasema wamekuwa kwa ground, and wanasema wameongea na madereva, which I want to categorically state in front of all these drivers behind me that no agent of Bolt or Uber has been on the ground to talk to these particular drivers. These two apps have been very oppressive, and as at the conclusion of the meeting that we had last Tuesday, is that these particular two apps should not have their license renewed until they agreed to the terms that we put across for them in terms of compliance.
I'm Kennedy Wainaina Mbugwa. I'm the senior chairman, Nakuru Digital Hailing Taxi. And this morning na feel nikiwa nimekwazika sana. Manake wiki iliyopita tumekuwa pale Ministry of Transport, tumekuwa na kikao, na kwa kila kikao tulikuwa na Ministry of Transport Director Mr. Kingori, tulikuwa na NTSA Deputy Director Mr. Yaya, tulikuwa na board representative, we had George and Linda, and we had so much deliberations. We discussed about the industry, because these two applications, Uber and Bolt, they have been frustrating our drivers since 2018 till today, considering the fuel prices and the hard economic times we are in our country. These applications have failed. They have totally failed to go by the regulations under NTSA and TNC rules 2022. They have failed to do the compliance. Number one, when it comes to their commission cap, under the regulations in NTSA and TNC, they are supposed to correct only 18% and below. Unfortunately, due to the failure of NTSA and Ministry of Transport, they have failed to regulate these applications. These applications are collecting up to 28%. For instance, if you take a look at the Uber pricing mechanism, it's a total fail. When you look at their commission, they take up to 28%. They are illustrating that they are taking 18%. Unfortunately, wameenda pale wakaongeza an illegal fee ambao wanaita booking fee. Hii booking fee ukifuata sheria za NTSA 2022 and TNC haziko pale, kwa sababu wameambiwa wanafaa kuchukua kiasi cha 18% only from the driver. Sasa wameenda pale wakaongeza an illegality ya kuweka booking fee, which is not anywhere under the regulations za NTSA and TNC 2022. In that 3 days meeting, we deliberated and we discussed a lot for 3 days. Actually, the last day meeting ya mwisho iliisha saa 3 ya usiku. Noting well that this meeting was attended by all regions. We had Mombasa, we had Kisumu, we had Eldoret, we had Kitale, we had Nakuru, and we had the Nairobi team. Mr. Kingori tried to make sure that we are not giving our submissions. They are trying to protect Bolt and Uber. Tukimaliza ule mkutano, we had a conclusion. We as drivers representatives from all over the country, hakuna kufanya renewal ya Bolt license and Uber until they adhere and comply to the TNC and NTSA regulations. Unfortunately, this morning we have been called. Bolt wameenda kwa NTSA, wakaenda na barua wakasema ya kwamba sisi kama drivers wenye tulikuwa kwa ule mkutano, which it was even posted before by Mr. Kingori in the Twitter ya Ministry of Transport, walipost ya kwamba tumekuwa na an agreement with Bolt and Uber, which we had no agreement, we signed no document. And the last wordings we had in that meeting before we left the Ministry of Transport boardroom, tuliagree ya kwamba hakuna kufanyia Bolt na Uber renewal of their working licenses in this country manake hawakuwa wamecomply na sheria za NTSA and TNC 2022. Unfortunately, Ministry of Transport went ahead and tweeted in their Twitter account that we as drivers representative tumekubaliana na Bolt na Uber wafanyiwe renewal. That's a mere lie, and I say it categorically. That's a big lie. As we speak, we have sent our lawyer kotini aende atuitishie a court order, because we cannot continue letting our drivers being oppressed every day, every night. Since 2018, Bolt and Uber wamekuwa kitumia hawa madriver. As you know, the current situation we are having in our country, mafuta inauzwa at 217 per liter, but these app companies, these oppressors, they have made us their slaves. They are giving us a ride that is even low as 100 shillings. That 100 shillings, huyu driver ni mafuta ataeka, ni gari atafanya service, ni kwake atapeleka unga, ni watoto atasomesha. Hii pesa itamfanyia nini? If you can quote me, this year only, Nairobi have lost 7 drivers, and upon kufanyiwa postmortem, 6 of them died out of fatigue and lack of rest. They will lack that opportunity to go and rest with their families kwa sababu ya kitu moja. Watu wamekimbishwa na watu wa maloni. Gari mingi watu wanatumia either ni ya partner ama ni yake, ameenda akachukua kwa showroom alipe madeni. Huyu mtu analipwa 170. By the end of the day, huyu mtu ameenda over 10 rides. Hiyo ni 1700. Gari imekunywa 2000. That means this driver is going back to the pocket kufuel gari. So we are declaring this. If by any chance, and I'm saying this as a chairman, if by any chance Ministry of Transport and NTSA dares to license Bolt and Uber to continue working and oppressing our drivers, we will do a massive national demonstration. And I'm saying this because it's an agreement that is countrywide. We will do a massive maandamano towards the Ministry of Transport and NTSA, because number one, we have noticed NTSA director and Ministry of Transport director, they are very biased. They don't want to listen to the drivers. Yet this application, they are international app companies. If you check like Bolt and Uber, they are working from Estonia and Netherlands. They are using the Netherlands and Estonia rules and regulations. This is not Netherlands. We are in Kenya, and they have to follow the NTSA regulations in this country. Number two, upon the compliance, they have failed because they have not been registered. We have done our own research as drivers. Bolt and Uber companies, they are not registered under any company in Kenya. Number three, these 2 app companies, they are not following the Labor Act. That's why you see they are giving drivers a ride that is even 60 bob. You can imagine covering for 10 kilometers. You take a client, then that client is being asked to pay you 70 shillings. That is not logic at all. It's not logic. And I'm calling upon even the president of this country. You promised young people you are going to protect them. Protect them from these oppressive app companies, that is Uber and Bolt. CS Murkomen, I'm coming back to you again. We were in your